Hi guys, welcome back to my cooking channel. I first want to apologize for not uploading and doing videos lately for the last 4 or 5 months. I have been extremely busy. And lately, I've been underneath the weather here and there. But today, I will be doing two parts to this video. So, the first part we're going to do is a slow cooker ribs, which you see here is I got a beautiful rack of ribs that I just cut in half here. It's not really a good cut, but it would be okay. So for this recipe, you're going to need soy sauce. You're going to need minced garlic, brown sugar, salt and pepper, and this is like a smoky kind of rub, which will give it that beautiful smoky flavor, mesquite kind of type. So first what we're going to do is we're going to come to our slow cooker, and you're going to cook this about on high for 4 hours, low maybe 6 to 8 hours. But I like to put my slow cooker on about 10-30 on low. That way I know it goes real slow and it makes all those flavors really good. So the first thing that we gotta do is we're gonna add salt and pepper to our ribs here. Let me just get you guys right here. So we're just gonna salt and pepper this really good. Let's see. You want to get that, you don't want too much because you don't want to make it too salty. So now I'm just going to turn these ribs over, and we're just going to do the same with the other side. Just put salt and pepper on them. Yeah, beautiful. Looks like I'm going to need more salt and pepper mix here. Well, that's okay. I'll make some more when I need it. Okay. So now that both sides of our ribs are salt and peppered, you want to kind of rub it in to give it the flavor into it. A lot of people rub it in, a lot of people don't rub it in. Now the next thing you're going to do is we're going to add this mesquite flavored rub to this on both sides. We're just going to sprinkle it on just like this. Perfect. We want to get it that smoky flavor. And like just rub it in. And we're going to turn this one over and get this on this side. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like my favorite chef would say, it will make them happy. And if you don't know who that is, it's Emerald. Emerald's like my idol. I used to watch him all the time with my mom, and I loved him. I really did. Along with, Chopped and all those other cooking shows. I'm a really big fan of cooking shows. I really enjoy cooking. And it's like, it's a hobby. It's passionate for me. And it makes me feel good that I can know that I can make other people happy with my food. So we're going to turn this baby over. And we're just going to sprinkle more. If you want, you can use all of this mesquite to make it a smoky flavor. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is just try to use up all this so it can flavor. Alright. Not much left. Just want to get it all covered here. Now you can add other spices and whatnot to what you want to, but me, I'm not. I'm just going to keep with the smoky flavor. Like it's been out on the grill for hours. But a little tip, when you cook ribs or any kind of meat in a slow cooker, if you haven't before, It is a process that makes the meat so tender and so good. So that's why I like cooking my ribs out in the slow cooker instead of out on the grill. Now, I do once in a while have that. So I used up all that, which is really good. Now, I'm just gonna let these rest for a second while I wash my hands and get all this stuff off my hands. We want to be sanitized here. Alright. Okay. So now what we are going to be doing is I'm going to take our ribs that we just did and I'm going to bring them over to my slow cooker. And I'm going to be adding a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom of it because I want it to soak up all those juices and not dry out so much. So at the bottom, I'm just going to put some chicken broth. Now, you don't want to use too much chicken broth because chicken broth and beef broth is very salty. So we don't want to use so much. I could have just looks like I'm going to have to cut these in half again. So what I'm going to do is, that's not going to work. Sorry guys. It was not going to work. I wished it would. But obviously, it looks like we got to cut them down again. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, slip them in here. Like so here. And it's okay if they overlap. It will get cooked still. So, once in a while you want to check your ribs and flip the top ones to the bottom so that will be evenly cooked. And you want it evenly cooked. We don't want no rawness in there. And because we're going to be adding soy sauce to this, you want to use a little bit of chicken broth. Now, what I'm also going to do is add maybe a cup of water. And this it won't be so salty when I add the soy sauce to it. So I'm just going to add a cup of water to this. Beautiful. And keep the extra ones. Now, you could do this in a pot or you could just throw it in there and mix it up. Well, I personally I'm going to just throw all the ingredients in there. So what you're going to do is you can take minced garlic, about a couple of tablespoons, I would say, of minced garlic to give it the garlicky flavor here. Okay. And I'm just gonna squish it around the ribs so it won't be exactly on top of the ribs. And it's in that chicken broth and water. Now the seasoning will come off onto it, and that's fine because once the ribs are done, I'm going to add after the juices and stuff, I'm going to add it to a pan and I'm going to thicken it up, make a beautiful caramel sauce, or try to at least, to brush it over with the ribs. We're just getting those flavors to it. So I got a little bit of soy sauce here, which I got a brand new one here too. So I would say I would probably use maybe half a cup. 1/3 to a half a cup in this because, like I said, it is really salty, and you will be adding chicken broth at the bottom and some water. The water breaks down the saltiness, so we're just going to add a little bit more soy sauce to the sauce that is going to be sitting in here. Don't want too much. Perfect. Okay, so now here comes the brown sugar. Now, sugar and brown sugar, I'm going to do a mixture of it, so that way it won't be so much just sweetness of brown sugar or just plain white sugar. What sugar does, and that I have found out, sugar breaks down all that salt. So therefore, when something's really salty, you can just add as much sugar you need to make it balance out the flavors. Now the flavors here I won't know until it literally starts to cook. So when it starts to cook, and I'll check it after a couple of hours and show you what it looks like here. Let me see. I know I have a, yeah. Sorry about this, guys. I got a tablespoon. Now, I do a couple of tablespoons of brown sugar. You can use any kind of brown sugar. But this trivia is supposed to be a healthier brown sugar than regular brown sugar. It has less sugar than really brown sugar into it. But it still gives it the same taste, and it's a lot healthier. It doesn't have all those preservatives and chemicals in it. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons here. Now, I normally don't measure out things because I can eyeball how much I would like or how much I want into it. But I'm also going to keep out the sugar just in case it's a little bit salty, because when I do the second part of this video, I'm going to do some a side and show you how to do a side. I haven't really figured out which side I want to do yet. And if it needs to be a little thick, when it gets thick when I put it in a saucepan and make it, I'm going to show you how to do that. And if it needs a little bit more sugar or a little bit more soy sauce, I'll be adding it in as I go along. Now, for this, you don't want the white sugar to overpower the brown sugar. So I would just use 1 tablespoon of that for now. And I'm just going to mix this up here, because brown sugar you pack, it's really good in baking. So I got some brown sugar here, which with mixed 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1 tablespoon of this, which I had just mixed here. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle this all in here. Let it soak up the flavor it needs in the water, on the ribs. It would be great. It would be great. Now, I'm not going to probably use all this because I probably need some for my sauce that's going to be made for later. So I'm just going to go ahead and add what I need in here. Perfect. Beautiful. So now I'm going to wash my hands. You always want to be sanitized with this because bacteria is on your hands. So before you do anything or start cooking, I would wash your hands. Some people don't. And then wash your hands every time you use or touch the meat because it's sanitized. Now, when I close the lid, I'm going to show you what it looks like, guys. Here's what the brown sugar and mesquite looks like with the garlic and water and chicken broth in there. It's like I said, it is okay to stack it. They will get cooked. Trust me. Now, like I said before, I said when I showed you the slow cooker, about 4 hours on high and about 6 to 8 hours on low. But since my slow cooker got heated, I like to heat my slow cooker before I actually put things in it. I actually put it to about 10 hours and 30 minutes. But I'm not going to use that whole 10 hours and 30 minutes. But as you can see, It is on 10:01 now because it's counting down because it's been heating. And it's on low. So that is going to be what I'm be cooking mine on. Okay. So, like I said, this is the first part of the video. And when I get closer to, when the meat gets closer to being done, like maybe an hour out, I will show you what the meat looks like. And do a vegetable maybe. And rice or potatoes with it. I haven't really decided which one. If that I want to do, but if I do potatoes, they're going to be a little bit different, and the same with the rice. I just don't like plain potatoes and rice, so I'm going to use my imagination to all that. But I want to thank you for watching this first video. If you do like this video, please subscribe, comment, and like below. If you have any ideas or anything that you would like for me to make, leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. So I hope you guys have a good morning, the rest of the morning, and I will see you a little bit later for the second video, or maybe, you know, a little bit later for lunch. I will show you another video, probably how to make homemade cheese sticks. So I'm not too sure about that just yet, but I would check you guys later. Bye. Love you guys.